If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara, here. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
And our guest today, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, is Brande Roderick. Is that correct?
Brande Roderick. Yep, that's it. Hi, guys.
Okay, good.
You know what? That's crazy. Johnny, of course you would be able to pronounce Brande Roderick. I mean, wow. Plus, by the way, she's so ultra famous and one of the most popular Playboy Playmate centerfolds in history. Not only that, MOY, Playmate of the Year 2001, Miss April 2000. Welcome to the show, Brande.
Thank you. Wow, what a wonderful introduction. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are welcome.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we do know that you are all of those things plus a lot more. A entrepreneur, wonderful, successful businesswoman, an amazing, accomplished actress, and the whole Playboy, all the accolades there. But before we get into all of that, which we will, and wonderful wife and mother, we have the question that we always start the show off. The Playboy Playmate series in use. Yes, we do. We have the one question. And the reason I start off with this question is because this is a question I have been asked more than any other question when it comes to Playboy. So here it goes. Ready, Brande?
I am ready.
Okay. Brande Roderick, how did you become a Playboy Playmate?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I went in and did the test shoot. As you know, I don't know if I'm just assuming you went through the same thing, but
no.
No,
the
different.
You're a California girl. No, because just think about it. When we're not local, I mean, I didn't live in California. We have to do a whole different procedure. We don't fly in and just do a Polaroid test. No.
Right.
So that's different.
Well,
so your story is you
time...
actually walked in. Did you make Did you
Yeah.
call them? I mean, were you nervous? Like before that, how did you hey, I'm going to be a Playboy Playmate. I want to be a centerfold. I'm calling them. But what was your whole thought process?
Yeah. Well, I always thought from a very young age that I wanted to be a Playboy Playmate because my mom told me I was named after a Playboy model. So, and her name was Brande. And
That's
so
cool.
In my head,
I did read that.
Growing up.
Brande.
Yeah.
But Brande.
So
Brande.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, Brande. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say a very young age, what does that mean, very young age, that you knew about Playboy?
Well,
what age was that?
So always, in my, even my grandfather, in his bathroom, he had a picture up of a naked girl Playmate. I don't know which Playmate it was. So too young to know at the time. But it was always like that stuff was open, and my mom always told me, where I got my name. So I remember in 4th or 5th grade, I can't remember, we're talking about what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I said that I wanted to be a Playboy model. And
in class?
And but this is how crazy it was back in the day. So I remember being on the playground and the teacher that I told that to, telling the other teachers I was a little slut. Can you believe that?
Ooh.
No.
And I was overhearing it, this little, isn't that crazy?
It's so horrible.
She was an old witch anyway.
I know, but back then, I mean, maybe you didn't know about, personalities that were jealous.
Yeah.
But maybe as a child, that was a lot to take in. How rude.
I don't think I even really knew what the word meant at that time, but
That's true.
so she was just an old witch. But anyway, so it was instilled in me in a very long time, and I always wanted to be an actress. So when I came to Hollywood, I pursued both Playboy and acting. And I remember on my when I actually finally went in for the actual test shoot, Alexis Vogel, which I know you knew very well.
Everybody mentions her, right, Johnny?
They do.
We did a tribute to her. I didn't mean to interrupt, but we did a tribute on the show to her, and I had 8 different Playmates come on and tell a little story, and we had a psychic medium, and we actually talked to her. I mean, if you believe in that, and the ones, they talked to her. Yes, I want to get you on the next one. I want to do one with Hef.
Oh my God, I just got chills. Oh, that would be amazing. Please include me on that.
Okay, for sure.
If you can, I would love to be included on that. Anyway, so she went out for me. She was great because I was nervous, and she had them go and get me. She's like, "What do you like to drink?" And I was like, "Champagne." So she had them go out and get me champagne. So I was drinking some champagne, and she was like, just make it. They're just like doctors. They see naked girls all the time. It's not a big deal. So, I felt super comfortable. And I had Steve Wada, which I love.
I love Steve.
And
I love Steve Wada. Okay, Steven Wada was one of the best centerfold photographers and shot the covers of a lot of celebrities. I was so grateful that he did my centerfold as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, but
exactly.
I mean, you just jumped from. Okay, you walked in. You jumped from that. Okay, you're living in California, so you're local. But how close to Beverly? It was not Beverly Hills. It was Hollywood. Or I don't know.
Santa Monica. It was in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica when you came.
Yep.
I was on Sunset Boulevard. Okay, so you walked in there. How far did you live away?
I wasn't far at all. I don't think I was that far. I was probably in the valley at the time. Oh, I was living here at the time. So but I grew up in Northern California. Yeah.
Okay, so when you when you walked in for the test, was it a Polaroid day? Like they would do that every Thursday, right?
Time I went in was a Polaroid, and that got denied.
Wow, that's an interesting thing. Well, gosh, okay, Brande, why did you even do that? I would never have done that. Like, that's just like throwing total caution to the wind. Like, okay, whatever. Instead of like taking some shots with a photographer and then like submitting what is perfect. Like, I never got that why these girls did that, and you were one of them. So please tell us why you did that.
And when I did that, it was before I had my breast done too. So when I went back the next time, when I actually got a real test shoot, I had already had my breast done. I kind of knew what I was doing with my makeup. It was like a little bit, felt a little more comfortable. And had a great time at that point with the test shoot. And
so then, when you got yourself more educated on, I'm going to, I am going to make it. So I'm going to do it the right way. And then did you send in photos? And then they said, oh, come on in. We're going to do a full day of test shooting to see if we want to bring you back for centerfold. Is that's how I put it?
No. At that point, Mr. Hefner made a phone call.
Oh, really? Oh, had you met Hef already?
Yeah, I'd met him a couple times. The first time I met him, I was brought up to the house when he was married to Kimberly for movie night with a friend. And he helped me. We were looking through the magazines trying to find the woman that my mom named me after. We couldn't find her. But we didn't look, like for hours.
When do you think that was? Okay, so Brande, hold on, because this is really interesting. Your mom was 9 months pregnant, and she was flipping through. There was a lot of magazines I just read the article. There was a lot of magazines around her. She picked up the Playboy. She opened it up. It just happened to be this gorgeous Playmate who was she the centerfold named Brande?
No, I think she was just because we would have found her. It was just a model that was in the magazine.
Okay, and your mom
her name was
Brande.
Brande.
Remember? Oh,
no,
and you and Hef were trying to find that.
Yes,
it
was so sweet of me.
What a moment!
Brought me in the library, and we're going through because we didn't know what month, what year. It could have been an old magazine. It was at her uncle's house. You know, who knew? So we were just starting to go through page by page, trying to find somebody. No, we didn't. I mean, I should have looked a little harder, but yeah. I mean, it was. Who knows? I mean, my mom. It could have been Penthouse or Hustler for all I know. She just said, she told me it was Playboy. She's just,
like a tiny picture in the back. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
Wow.
I don't know. But that was the story. She'd always told me that it was a Playboy magazine. Her name was Brande. She thought she was so beautiful. I want my daughter to look like that, and she named me Brande Nicole after this girl. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what?
I keep hoping with this story, someone will come forward and say, that was me.
Yeah. Yes, because she had to have been, well, no, you were in her tummy. I don't know if you were born blonde, but I assume so.
Yeah, well, actually, no, black hair, then red hair, then blonde hair. But anyway.
So I'm trying to envision what your mother was seeing in the magazine that was her vision. And so you asked her to give you more of a detailed description?
No, she just thought she was very beautiful, and she spelt it the way that she made my name be spelled, which is Brande, and to this day, I'm the only one that spells it like that. So when this person can finally know that she'd probably be in her 60s or 70s, 70s maybe, she would, it'd be nice. There's the Brande, the other Brande in the world that spells her name with an E. That's around 70 years old.
Wow, because you and Hef looked all through the Playmates, and it's not through the 60s or the 70s. It
definitely wasn't a Playmate. Yeah, we tried, but no.
Hey, Life, Laughter, Happiness podcast, put it out there for you to hopefully find the person who's out there.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that is because this story, though, it's not just a cute little funny little story. No, this is how you and Hef really clicked. Am I right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I'm assuming. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how wonderful.
It was,
because I've always wondered about the Playmates who, when he did get a divorce and then the new chapter of his life came, and then I was already a Playmate, but I remember I invited him to my 30th birthday, and I think you came at the St. James Club because he started to go out. What?
Yeah.
You were there?
I think so. Yeah, that's when we started. Yeah. Yep.
That was like the year 2000. Of course, Brande. Of course you were there. That was the year 2000. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep,
okay.
I know. Well, we started dating in 1998. So we, so definitely I was there.
Was that really fun with Hef? And how was it? I mean, you are such a person that exudes joy. So, but I mean, really, was it great all the time, or were there ups and downs?
Well, he would get on my nerves sometimes, just like any boyfriend. But it was just, an amazing. I look back and I'm like, he gave me some of the best years of my life. Like, I got to experience so much stuff. I learned so much stuff. I got the best of friends. I created so many amazing memories. I only have like the best feeling when I think back of our time together.
Oh, wow.
So,
I did not know that, Brande. I did not know, and that really warmed my heart, and I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. And that's what I would assume Hef would be like, a wonderful man to his lady. That's what I think. That's how I think of him. But, there's been a couple of the after you girlfriends said some negative things. I haven't read the books or anything, but just really quickly, I mean, what do you feel about that?
It pisses me off. It's like, you know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's like that man made you who you are, and you're going to talk smack? Like, no, that's not okay. I just, it's amazing to me. I can't believe some people are that dark and evil to say such horrible things.
Okay, I am so glad to hear this because I've always just loved to have so much. He's always been so wonderful to me, and people in my year in the 90s, that we all have that, and we all say that. And so I have yet to even interview a Playboy Playmate who has said otherwise. And the person that I'm referring to actually is not a Playboy Playmate. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
But
right?
It's just not right. You just don't do that for someone that has given you what they've given you and created you in your life, and then was somebody twisting your arm to be there? You know, was somebody putting you in shackles to be there? No, I don't think so.
Well, I was about to say that too, but then I thought, oh my gosh, then I'm going to get Me Too movement, hate mail maybe, because I will say something like, well, did you have to stay? And then their rebuttal would be something like, well, she doesn't know what it's like to feel like you are in control of your own life, something like that. So I just, but I was thinking that exact same thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, everyone is going to have, I guess, their own experience, which is fine. But word about it everywhere, and I don't know, talk down about someone that is not a bad person, is not an evil person, who's somebody who's loved by so many people, and who, as far as I know, there's only been one person in this world, maybe two, that has ever said anything bad about him. Right? I mean, that I know of.
Yes.
So that's got to say something right there.
Exactly. And I make a point of that, don't I, Johnny? Every single show.
Yes, you do. One of the things that I've noticed about him is that you would think that if he was a bad person, there'd be more stuff said. I mean, what I've heard about him is the idea that he's the person who, like, say your car didn't start and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and you were in town, you needed a place to stay, you probably could call the mansion, and then they would come and pick you up. And I think it was Donna Perry. Donna Perry told this story. It might have been Donna Perry. I don't know who it was, but she told the story that in the middle of the night you could call room service, and then she said out of a joke, steak and shrimp or something, and they said okay, and they were like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it came, and then she felt bad for doing it, or something like that. It was a cute story.
Yeah.
Above and beyond. You're right, Johnny, and so I do make a point of that, to say that, and coming from you, Brande, it means a lot, because, you had a wonderful, nurturing, a great business relationship, and I was right there. I saw it unfolding. It was wonderful, and you always have the most beautiful smile on your face. In fact, I told somebody when I was promoting the show today that not only is Brande so beautiful and gorgeous, too, she doesn't age, she has the heart of gold. You have no bad in you. No bad. I see you at GlamourCons and luncheons and things like that, and you always are so gracious. But I cannot say that about everybody, and it's fine. That's their personality. But that's just you. That's your
thank you.
What do you think that is your biggest, best? Okay, the outside beauty trait. What is it? I know what I think it is that you have. Your best trait. What do you think you have?
Oh gosh. This is a tough one.
Don't be shy.
I think that I do. I think that I still have a pure heart in the way that I see the world and the way I see people and the way I accept people and I accept everybody and I don't judge.
No,
so,
that's the inside.
This
is the outside. I'm going to ask about the inside after this.
Oh, the outside best trait.
Yes, your best physical attribute, like the best thing that you think, wow, everybody loves it, and I love it too.
If you ask Hef, he would say my smile because he always in every interview. But it used to be my stomach, but it's not anymore. So, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I tell you this every time I see you, Brande.
My
every
hair?
time.
I don't know.
Yes.
My hair?
Your hair is so thick, but it's not just thick, it's silky thick.
I do have good hair.
You can't even believe you
I
didn't
was going to say that.
Yes, the smile. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The smile for sure. And, that's wonderful. Well, I love all of that. And, I thought, I've got to look at this wonderful editorial in Playboy magazine that I really enjoyed. And I'm just wondering if one of the models, because sometimes I flip through really quickly. Now it is digital too, so I'm flipping really quickly. And it's called Once a Playmate, Always a Playmate.
Oh, the equality issue?
You were in it. You were in it.
Yep. Yeah. And I'll tell you the story of when it all went down, because we just shot that in October. I got the call from I think it was Christy over at Playboy asking if she might have emailed me asking if I would be a part of this equality issue 20 years later after I posed for the first time in Playboy. And she said, we're not sure yet. We're just seeing your availability. So basically, we don't know if we're going to choose you, but, we want to know if you'll be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember telling my son, my 10-year-old, what's going on. Oh, my gosh, they just asked me to come back and do this 20 years later. And I was super anxious and excited. And then finally I got the email that you've been chosen. We're excited that you're going to be a part of it. And I remember my son was there. I started crying. I was like so excited.
Yes.
I wanted it so bad. Just to be, to still be a part of something, even though Hef's not here, it made me feel closer to him and just, I don't know, just still a part of something, a sisterhood. And I loved it. I was so excited.
I want to say something.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do get, I personally don't particularly like it when people say things like, oh, the good old days are gone and everything. I guess the problem that bothers me with that is that obviously Hugh Hefner fought for things that were going to be around long after he was gone. And that's why whenever I hear people say nobody wants to hear from Playmates, it's old news, that's just a nice way of, and the problem, that's a real slap in your face,
Well, luckily, hopefully, I've never heard anyone say they don't want to hear from a Playmate.
Me too. And I tell Johnny this. I don't know where he's getting this. I don't know how many people he's talked to. He came up with this conclusion. And also that he thinks that people think that, that we're going to do the Playboy Playmate series so people will know that we are smart and... But I've never had anybody not think that. I've never had anybody think that. Yeah. So it is a stereotype.
You know what? It's true because I've had people in the past say, well, how do you get past, the stereotype of Playmates or blondes, aren't smart or Playmate, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never had anyone accuse me of that or think that or say anything. So I don't know. It's not in my world. So...
Johnny, I don't see. You're stereotyping the stereotype without any.
Yeah.
We just figured it out, Brande. What he's doing.
Yep. Exactly. You're trying to create something that's not there, Johnny.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that all Playmates are brilliant.
I love that. That's so funny. Okay, for all the listeners, though, about what we were talking about, once a Playmate, always a Playmate, it is a wonderful wonderful editorial that was featured in Playboy magazine just in 2019, and they took 5 Playboy Playmates, and you were one of them. We also interviewed Renee. She was one of them. And then they turned you into that. You became a character. I think the old Hollywood type, and I think that you were. Tell us about it a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, that part I didn't like. I'm going to be completely honest. I was under the impression, I was, walking in there thinking, it's going to be traditional Playboy beauty shots, beautiful. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking, we're going to show off how beautiful we are now at each decade, because there was a woman from each decade, from age 30s all the way up to 70s. So one from each decade. So I just thought they were going to show the beauty of us, but instead they made it more caricature. They had us all wearing wigs, which I hate. I'm not a fan of white platinum hair, and they had me in white platinum hair wig, which ages you, as you may or may not know when you have white platinum hair.
Were they having you do the Marilyn Monroe image or similar?
It was more like, I don't know, Donatella Versace kind of. But anyway, so, but it's still, the experience was wonderful because I got to do it with all my girls that I all love so much, and got to still be in that Playboy family. I was honored to do it. I just was hoping it could have been more of the traditional Playboy as opposed to making us into caricatures. You know what I mean? Like, the way that it was, but this is a whole new,
I do, but see,
yeah.
I'm different like that. I love it when something is totally, twisted and made something different and avant-garde.
Right.
I love that stuff.
Sure.
I do. I love it. I thought you looked gorgeous. I absolutely love the whole thing.
Well, I think that it's, you're your own worst critic, and when you feel like you look beautiful a certain way, and it's not that way, it's different, so for me, I wanted to show, myself, and this is how I am now 20 years later, as opposed to, and it would have been that in a different magazine or another issue, but this was my one chance, to be 20 years later, and do you know what I mean? Like,
now I get it.
And
I get it. Now I get it.
So we're our own worst
like
critic,
that.
I know people. It's a beautiful.
You know what? You are so right.
Fred.
Because they had a thing too that I did. It was called Playmate Extra, and they took about 5 from the 90s, and then I was shooting there again with Steve Wade after 18 years. When we like about 10 years, we model and we do covers and we do a lot, but then after about that time frame, 10, 15 years, there's like a little lull. I mean, that makes sense. They have other things to shoot, So
right.
Then when they asked me to come back, and mine was 18 years later, exactly from my Miss December, I loved it because, I had 2 weeks to prepare, so I did my whole workout routine, but I had the long blonde hair. I was better than the center.
Yeah.
I had a harder body. And you know what? That's what I wanted to show. And you know what? I'm 41 and I'm freaking hot, everybody. And look, so I get it. They would have put a platinum weird wig on me and tried to do that whole art thing with me. And that actually doesn't really make sense because you are an icon that, go change somebody else. You want to come as you. That, who was in charge of that? Was it all different people?
Well, I understand, what they're trying to do at this point. They were trying to do something different with the magazine. So they were hiring eccentric, photographers and trying to do something different. And it didn't work. So which is why, as we know, there is no more Playboy, which is so sad. I should say Playboy magazine, which I'm devastated over. I think it's so sad. But I think they were trying to change it to try to make something work, and it just didn't, unfortunately.
Okay.
They're trying to.
Well, I love your honesty about that, though. And hey, we don't know anymore. When Heck died, I stopped getting what I was promised for the rest of my life, which was for a lifetime subscription.
Oh, the magazine, I know.
Yes, and it stopped, and then they were giving me the coupon to try to sign up for it, and I just thought, wow, that is weird. That's like a ooh. But you know what?
Well,
Have died, and it's not going to be the same, and we have to accept it. But do you think that if that was alive during that photo shoot, would that have gone through? I'm thinking, I get a no on that.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But I mean, yeah, we have to deal with the fact there isn't a Playboy magazine anymore. But the only way that I'm trying to look at it is that at least, that's going to look now when people look at it like this was this amazing, iconic thing that changed so many lives and changed the world, really. He did. That we got to be a part of that. Even though there is no more magazine, we got to be a part of that, a part of history, and there's only so many now, of us that were a part of that history.
I know. The end of an era. And you had 17 years while Hef was alive, and it is different. And everybody would say, well, ask me to go to the parties after, how Cooper kept trying to have the parties up there afterwards. And I said, I don't even care. I don't even want to go because it's not the same without Hef. No, I just didn't. I didn't. It becomes all commercial. Really about money.
Well, it did. It was corporate owned at that point, and I wish that that Cooper could have taken over and just continued in his father's footsteps, and it all would have been wonderful, and that would have been great. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
No, the board
at least we have our memories.
Brande, don't you think the board of directors were really hard on him? And I mean, really, I followed that along so closely. And out of everybody, all the Playmates that I would ask, it would be you because, hello, talk about the boardroom. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's talk about that in your opinion.
Okay.
I love it, Brande. How far did you go on the show with
when I was on
Donald, right?
Right, I know. It's like they say the Donald or Donald, but now we have to say the president. The first season I was on every single episode. It was a great experience, and then I went on the All Stars, and it was still a great experience, daunting and exhausting, and 18-hour days. It was crazy, but in the end, it was always worth it because somebody would get a lot of money for charity. So that was always a feel-good thing, at the end of it. Yeah.
Now, I have a question.
It really was
what's your
great.
opinion of? I have a question. What's your opinion of the Annie Duke Joan Rivers thing?
Well, I can say it definitely was a real riff for sure. None of that was staged. But I adored them both. But yeah, there was a real riff there, and it is what it is. Joan was being Mama Bear, trying to stick up for her daughter, and so she went to bat.
I think the problem that I noticed this is one of the things that I've noticed with the Celebrity Apprentice as opposed to the regular Apprentice is with Celebrity Apprentice you let the people get away with things they wouldn't normally get away with on regular Apprentice. I mean, storming off like that. I mean, if this had been regular Apprentice, they would have,
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't let him come back, but of course they're going to let Joan Rivers come back,
Yes, so they have
because she's Joan Rivers.
Huh? But you know what? Everybody loved you, and nobody thought you were stupid because you were a Playboy Playmate. But then I don't know if you went on there as that, or if you went on there more as the actress. I don't know.
Well, it was both.
I don't know.
They mentioned Baywatch, but Donald, he always mentions, he would mention things about Playboy, like, how many covers have you been on? And, like he was, of course, kind of interested in that part of it.
Really? So,
being a man.
I didn't watch it at that time, and I guess Johnny has, but that's interesting. Okay, so he always was going towards that, and which is okay. It's fun. I mean, back then it was not even the president anyway, and it's like in reference to whatever, and we're proud of it, and it's probably the best thing to reference because that brand is powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of it. So I went all the way to the end. I was on every episode of the first season. We made it to the final four where they were deciding who's going to be in the finale. They ended up choosing Joan and Annie, and Jesse, James, and myself came back for the finale to help Annie and help her to win. And Joan was on the other team, so I was on the finale with Annie Duke.
Wow.
And then I came back on the All Stars and made it pretty far in that too. It was fun. It was a great experience.
I bet so. I can only imagine it would be very well put together, completely organized, and fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was great working with
like that. Was it not fair?
With our president? It was awesome working with him. And
okay, so you had a wonderful experience then with Donald Trump on the show.
Absolutely. And people in the media tried to say otherwise during the debates. They mentioned the way that he talked to me on the show and these, whatever they tried to say during the debates. And they came back to me and asked me about it. I said, absolutely not. I said, they tried to say that he proposed to me a ton of times on the show. He said inappropriate things, and it was all bullshit. And that's when I realized the fake news is the fake freaking news. So frustrating when they tried to say stuff that happened to me with the president that did not happen. And that's how I know now media is completely corrupt and fake. So anyway, not your media, but the yeah.
Tiny little percentage of what you really have been connected to as far as his presidency and what he deals with every day and what a lot of people
I don't know how he
deal
does
with
it.
Who have the limelight.
He does it. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I don't know how he deals with all of the corrupt liars out there and saying stuff about him and what he. I mean, I just can't even imagine. I mean, he's a strong person, that's for sure. Very
thick-skinned.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you had that good experience on there. And you know what? You are a wonderful businesswoman. You have been receiving, I've seen on social media with a lot of posts that you've done about how great you're doing with real estate. And do you think that your success is because of being seen on The Apprentice, and people see, wow, look at her, she's a businesswoman. Did you get a higher position at the company you started with?
Did I get a higher what? Say that one more time.
A higher position with the company you started with in realty because of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I will definitely say I got a bigger percentage split than probably the average Joe, 100%. But I mean, I would. Yeah, but I say it all, even though it's a Celebrity Apprentice and they knew that, and that's business acumen and all that's great. But again, it all started from Playboy and Heft putting me in the magazine, because that's how I got Baywatch, and then Baywatch I got all the other movies and TV shows, and then The Apprentice because of Playboy and Baywatch and the other movies, and you know what I mean? Like it really all stemmed from Playboy. That's where it all started, and that's where I got my stepping stone. So I really attribute a lot of my success 100% to that man, for sure.
Oh, wow, that is such a confirmation. And I did get chills all over my body. And when I was perusing through some things a couple hours before the show about you, I thought, you know what? Classic case of Hugh Hefner changing a life.
Yep.
I mean, it does all start there. It did all start there.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. 100%.
Oh, I love hearing that, Brande. I do really love hearing that. Because that's the experience I had, completely positive.
Yeah.
And every single Playmate we even interviewed has all been positive.
Yeah. Because you're probably interviewing all of our good girl friends, our sisterhood, you know. That,
I probably am, right?
Yeah, that we all appreciate it. You know what I mean? It's like we really appreciate things in life. And when you get older, you learn to really appreciate those things, you know, too.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And I would go up to the Playboy Mansion for movie night and just some various things. Easter, and then you got married to the love of your life. And he was up there, a wonderful NFL star, football player, started a wonderful family, and he was up there, and he enveloped all of this, accepted it all. But
I was
not to accept? I mean, what's not to accept, right?
I was going to
how
ask
did
a question
that
about
all
the movie
happen?
night.
What? Oh, Johnny, what?
Okay,
What?
there's this book I have somewhere. It's called Meet the Stars, or Dinner with the Stars, or something. And it talks about places where you run into where there's celebrities. It's written by this lady, I think this man and this woman or something. And she talks about all the celebrities that she meets. And of course, there's one big place where she really, really wants to go because it's like the pinnacle place to be of all places, and we all know where that is, the Playboy Mansion. And I think it's there's an old movie starring Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, not Grease, but it's called Two of a Kind, and that's what they were doing on movie night. And she actually, the end of the chapter in this book is her at movie night with her, so that's what she does. So.
Yeah. Movie night was always a lot of fun. It was awesome. I have the best memories from movie night.
What about, you probably enjoyed this more than most people, but wasn't it Friday where it was black and white movie night?
Yeah, old movie night, yep. Classics, yep.
When the regular people, would come up, and it would be probably Sunday or something like that, which would be a movie that wasn't even out in the theaters yet, which was awesome. And we'd have a wonderful dinner and have to just be walking around. It's so funny, Brande. People are always like, when they find out I'm a Playboy Playmate, they ask, did you get to meet Hugh Hefner? I mean, explain how it was. I mean, hello. We were up at the Playboy Mansion for all of these wonderful, movie nights, casual cocktail parties, the Super Bowl party, Easter. I mean, there was so much. And he's walking around. That's his house. So how, we met it. Explain how it was.
Well, it was, and you'll attest to this, it was just a family. And all of us knew each other, and we all loved each other, and it was always, the same people always getting together on the weekends or whatever, like you said, whatever party or, Super Bowl or whatever. It was all the same old friends and playmates, select playmates that would go up there. And it was just a family, and it was so much fun. Especially one of my favorites, and you might feel the same way, but 4th of July parties were my favorite in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they'd have the bands come out and play during the day. We'd play volleyball and dance. Wasn't it the best? And going swimming.
Oh, Brande, I must tell you something about that. 7, I had my daughter, so around that time, I couldn't do it because it's such a family day, and, with the kid up there, the little baby up there at the Playboy Mansion, I'm like, I don't want to, cramp anybody's style. And it was more like an adult fun thing with the volleyball and the, it wasn't so adult, but, I mean, it kind of was, It wasn't like Easter. So a few of those, that is one that I didn't go to very often, is the 4th of July, because I had my little baby. I was doing things with my little toddler and my little elementary girl that I was doing things with.
But what about the late 90s? That's what I'm talking about. Not in 2007, like the late 90s. Didn't you go to the 4th of July
it wasn't that
parties
big,
or no?
Actually. No, you know what? It became bigger later. The 4th of July thing was not a big, huge deal in the 90s. No.
Yeah,
it was not.
that's why I liked it. It was like literally maybe 250 people. And for me, I don't know. I love the quaint little parties like that were just small. And like the Super Bowl, it's like the same size as Super Bowl. There's maybe 200 people.
I did like that.
I love those. I love the smaller parties like that. It was fun.
Me too.
But I also like Halloween and all those fun ones too. I mean, those were all great. Yeah.
So how many years do you think that you went, or do you know that you went through basically living there at the Playboy Mansion as main squeeze? Was it 1 or 2 or 3? I mean, I'm not keeping tabs on people. I just know people find this interesting.
Right. Well, I was there 2 years, and then I got Baywatch, and then I moved to Hawaii. So we tried the long distance thing, but what happened was I know that I wanted to eventually start a family, get married, have kids, and
right.
you know, and of course he understood that. He couldn't say, you know, no, you can't have that. And I wanted my kids to have someone they can grow old with, that he wouldn't be around long enough, you know, to be a father to my children. And you know what I mean? So I was like, I had to be realistic. And even though I loved him so much, it was my time to go and spread my wings and, you know, eventually find someone I could settle down with. And so, you know, it was hard at first for a while, and then, you know, and then he ended up meeting Holly. So I, you know, hopefully that, you know, that kind of got his mind off of it a bit and all that. But you know, it was the best. You know, it was amazing. It was a great time.
Brande,
Great experience.
That is an attest to how great you are as a communicator within a relationship, because you stayed so very close as friends with Hef all those years, and because you had, you know, the guts to face what's going on. Okay, here is what I want, and this is reality. Okay, what are we going to do about it? And you talked about it, and you figured it out.
Yeah,
I love that.
And it made it, you know, so that we could stay friends and still love each other. And I still would, when I'd come home, visit him and, you know, get to know his, you know, girlfriend at the time, you know, whether it was Holly or Crystal, you know, it, you know.
Right. Hey, Brande,
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but, you know, Hef, he's a good-looking guy. And I remember when he was doing a separation from Kimberly, going through the divorce and everything, and then he was available. And I remember tons of Playmates, and basically every girl on the planet out there who were not Playmates that was hot, they wanted him. Okay, so, but why? I mean, maybe they're coming back for a second round. I mean, can you tell us, like, was he a good lover? Is that a horrible question to ask? I mean, like, what? I mean, sex is sex, and Hef says sex is not wrong, and the act of it is amazing. So why, like, you as his former girlfriend, can't you tell us, like, how was the sex?
Well, that's funny. As much as, you know, I love playing and having fun, the thought of my sons listening in and finding this on the radio, I better not answer that.
No, this is 18 and over. I told Johnny, make sure that our podcast is 18 and over.
They would be mortified. They would be mortified.
They can't get in, Brande. Okay. Anyway. But I assume, I mean, I'm thinking he probably is good. I mean, otherwise it would have gotten out that he wasn't. I mean, you know how that
right. Well, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to assume It was good. Okay. I thought I could get you to talk.
Funny.
It's all right. Okay.
Hey, I was on Howard Stern twice. If he couldn't get me to talk, I don't know who. No, I don't think anyone will.
Oh, Brande, I was asked to go on that, and I was so afraid that he was going to put me in the tickle chair. I was so shy back then. Even as an early Playmate, I was like, no, I'm not going on there. I am not going to. He's going to make me look stupid. Now I actually would not care one bit.
Right.
One bit.
Oh, my gosh, my kids keep trying to FaceTime.
He couldn't get you to say something. He couldn't get you to. What was it called like the episode that you were on?
Oh, I don't know. I was on twice. In both times he'd try to try to find out, what sex was like with him, and I never said. Oh my gosh, both my sons keep trying to FaceTime me. I don't know what's going on. Both of them are trying to FaceTime
right now?
me. One
we probably have
they
a
keep
good
calling
out there.
See, their little spidey senses are going. Like, Mom's talking about something she shouldn't be talking about.
Oh, okay. One last thing then. Let's change the subject. One last thing. We have got to talk about your success in the real estate business. Oh, wow. Yeah. I see the post, and you're getting all kinds of awards. Tell us about it, and if we need to find you, where can we find you for this?
Well, I do real estate. I also manage a bunch of Airbnbs now and do weddings at my Airbnbs. And, but yeah, so, I mean, you can just reach out anyway. I have, it's easy to find me, whether it's branderoderick.com or any of my social media sites. But yeah, it's it's definitely a shift, and I still am loving real estate, and that's great. And, I still do the occasional show.
Brande, can we do a photo shoot at your Airbnb?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even a family one. Or, you know what, we're looking for, when Johnny, he had a trip planned coming out to see me. We've never even met.
Yes.
He does the show from Florida. I do from California.
And just so you know, just so you know, Brande, Karina Harney told me to say hello. We talked to her today. I booked her on a future show. And also another person that really liked you was Christina Smith. She says, "Oh, I love Brande." Christina Smith.
I love her too. I love all that.
Brande, I never had met her before. Johnny's getting me people that I've never met before, Playmates, and I'm like, go for it, Johnny. Bring them on in. And I want to bring in some very, very, very new ones because, you had many years of Hef being alive and how it was and how great that was and many, many memories and stories. What about the latest Playmates? I mean, what's
right? It's a different experience.
What's up?
Yeah, I feel bad for the newer Playmates that didn't get to experience what we did. And even shortly after I was Playmate of the Year, they didn't even give away cars anymore. Like, these Playmates of the Year didn't get anything. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm glad. And when I was Playmate of the Year, we got to fly first class. And afterwards, it all changed. They didn't do any of that anymore. So we were in it in the good
at least. I couldn't believe it. Okay. Here's what I saw, too. That's funny that you mentioned that because I've always wanted to talk about this. Okay, I saw it evolve. Okay, you would go. They would win Shelby Cobra and maybe a Harley Davidson or a Crush Rocket.
Right.
And right? And then what did you get? I want to know what you got.
Well, it started to diminish when I got there, but still I got can you imagine getting a Shelby Cobra? Like, Heather Kozar was so lucky. I got a Porsche Boxer and a Buell Blast, which is a little Crush Rocket little motorcycle. But
I know what that is.
Yeah, I think that Heather, she got the Shelby, which, as you know, at the time it was worth $150,000. Who knows what it's worth now?
Wow,
especially after the movie.
I
know.
sold it. I mean, can you imagine if you held on to that? What did you do?
No.
Do you still have your Porsche Boxer?
No, I ended up like that's the thing. It's you know how things when you take it off the lot it diminishes value. I think I sold it like 2 years later for $20,000. Yeah, but anyway, it was still at least I got something. It's awesome, I got the other
Plus
girls now don't get anything. They don't even get a party.
But wait, didn't you get the $100,000?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $100,000 plus the car. So that's you sold it for $120,000. So all of the whole year of you going around was included in the payment, right? For the $100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
But still, that was wonderful for you with your personality. You enjoyed that tour.
Oh, 100%. I mean, to have that experience and move forward with whatever was next and use that as a stepping stone, I just feel so blessed and so lucky that I actually had that experience, 100%.
Wow. Oh, that's so wonderful. And when you got the Playmate of the Year, did Hess call you beforehand? I mean, how did you find out that you got Playmate of the Year?
Marilyn called me, Grabowski. She called me, and I was on hiatus from Baywatch, and I was roommates with one of my co-stars from Baywatch, and she called me. My girlfriend, she was in the bathroom in the bathtub. Marilyn called. We've decided that you're going to be our Playmate of the Year. And I just remember jumping up and down and screaming. And then Stacy got out of the bathtub, was jumping up and down naked, screaming. And so it was very exciting. I was so excited, elated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just from a little girl's dream when she was about 10 years old. And then a weird thing my sister did, but it didn't stop her. And she didn't let that get her down. She just kept forging forward, you all. And you know what? She became one of Hugh Hefner's favorite, not to mention, loving girlfriend. And then moved on to huge things, being one of Baywatch's actresses, which is one of the biggest shows ever known to man. Okay, shooting, by the way, not at the Pacific Ocean where it's freezing, but in Hawaii. Wow, right?
Yeah.
Doing your whole Playmate of the Year tour while you're at the Baywatch star, and I don't know how much, later. You found the love of your life and started a family. And but hold on, not only that, you are getting accused and receiving work nonstop at for real estate. So good for you, Brande.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome. Well,
Do you want to do the shout out?
Bye. Yes, I am doing a shout out, Johnny. Thank you for coming by for this wonderful, fun hour, Brande Roderick, Playboy Playmate, April 2000, and Playmate of the Year 2001. If you would like to check out Brande's body of work, where should they go, Brande? Tell us the number one spot that you like. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what? Do you have a website?
You can go to, IMDb if you want to look at my body of work and go watch a movie or a TV show I did, and you have the whole list there, imdb.com, and just search my name. And then follow me on Instagram, which would be cool, which is just my name, Brande Roderick, and I'll chronicle my life on there. So, yeah.
Well, that's where I would like to send everybody. It's kind of like what you put out there, everything that you feel good about or proud about or, special. So, follow Brande Roderick on Instagram. program. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And thank you so much, Brande, for coming on.
Thank you.
Sharing a lot of things I don't think that a lot of people have even heard.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of, Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, thank you.
Johnny boy.
I was thanking both of you for coming. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, everybody. All right.
Thanks, Johnny. And thank you for reaching out.
Thanks, Barbara.
I appreciate the call. Thanks, Barbara. Miss you. Hope I get to see your beautiful face